Hello, I'm Kathy Shaner, Mrs. Shaner, to your students, and I teach 6th grade ART6 or FAR for Fine Arts Rotation for your students. And I'm so excited to talk to you today about what it is they'll be learning and how they'll be learning it virtually, and what it is we'll be doing together. Let me share with you a PowerPoint that will help me show you that. So just a moment as I connect that up. Just a couple of clicks and we're there. Here we go. All right, so welcome to Virtually All About ART6. Please feel free to communicate with me this year as much as you need to, and the best way to communicate with me is email, please. And I'll be sending out an after viewing Google form to ask questions and inform me of any needs that you might have for your particular learner, since you know them the best. And please complete that and let me know anything I can do to help you and help me know your learner. All right, just so you know who I am a professional artist and ceramicist. These are some of my pieces. I do pieces. I have painted the Mona Lisa. That was just for a social studies project, actually. I also teach 4 classes of social studies during the day. I collaborate with Ms. Biggs and we plan all the units together. This is my project that we did together with the students. This is my Celtic Hamsa. I graduated the University of Idaho, and I just love art, and I also love photography. So how do we do art in ART6 in a virtual classroom? Well, let's investigate that. One, we're going to do it collaboratively. One of the things that we miss a lot when we're in a virtual classroom is that inspiration that comes by watching somebody else do artwork and go, wow, you thought of that? I didn't think of that. Or, oh, I love seeing all the different things. I always walk away from student artwork classrooms so inspired that I go home and want to do my own work. I love teaching art. But as humans, we are more creative when we're together. So really want to encourage you that your students can share their artwork by holding it up and showing it, by putting it in Schoology albums that we have for sharing, discussing, and peer feedback that we're going to be getting. So we're going to be doing a lot of work together. Very important in art class. I have the expectation that students are going to do their jobs as creative learners, that whenever we come to a new content or a new technique or a new skill, that they go, oh wow, something new, and then they want to try it and they go for it, and that they challenge themselves to try again and maybe redo. A lot of times with art, we think, I already drew that, it's done, and maybe trace it over again, get rid of the stuff that didn't work and try again. Just all the techniques that the pro artists actually really use. Be self-advocators and ask questions. Come to the art hour from 2:30 to 3 every day. If you need some questions or just want some time with an artist, be growth-minded and just not grade-haunted or grade-minded. Because if you're growth-minded, the grades will be there. My expectation in the virtual studio is that they look at the WAG, they get it on Monday, we go through it on Monday, I tell them exactly what's expected, how to pace themselves for the week. I tell them to spend at least 30 minutes a day doing their art. Although I know some of us, when we get to doing art, we space ourselves and time goes away. That's called the art zone, and it's just a brain sucker, and it just takes us out into that zone, and time disappears. Students, I want them to have fun with art and to inspire one another. I want you as parents and guardians to team with me and be a partner in my learning community. I recognize that you know them the best, and please tell me when they're having a difficult time with any project or subject matter that we are having, and I can come up with something that perhaps we can do as an alternative. So let me know if there's something sensitive, especially. Please use the supplies that we sent home. I have seen a couple kids already have stuff on lined paper, and we sent home a sketchbook, and we'd really like them to use the sketchbook. It's nice paper, it'll give them a much better result. And our lessons are planned using these supplies. However, having said that, if your student already has like Prismacolors and really nice supplies already, they can use those if they're used to using those. I don't want them to go back to a different kind of supply, but these are the ones we plan with. What will we learn this trimester? If you look at these are 3 of the potential items that we, or three potential that we have done. Notice that it says subject to change. Sometimes Miss Biggs and I get on a thing and we get creative and we find a new way to do something. So these are what we're doing. Right now, they're currently working on a Hamza hand and learning about symbolism and how to represent themselves in art and put themselves out there. This is a Warhol selfie, taking their own portrait and learning how to play and use their iPad and play with different apps. And this one is using animation to make animated important statements, such as taking care of a handicapped person who needs something. So we try to find authentic reasons for doing art. And so we may do claymation, we may do this kind of animation, but we will be doing watercolors as well. So just keep an open mind, we might change the projects. Next one. How will we assess in art? Well, we take art seriously and consider it an important discipline, because a lot of the engineers out there, a lot of people that want us to be sure that we teach the creative process, because the creative process is used in every facet of problem solving that's out there in the creative process. So in engineering and a lot of places. So if you take the time and pause this film and you can read some of these questions, you can see how the creative process, those are the main standards we're going to be working with in art. We're not as much worried about whether or not they have, you know, a Michelangelo level of skill at this age, but we do want them to understand the process it takes to get there. All right, so when we're working with, there will be one more standard we'll be working with, and that's the engagement rubric that the OSPI and Mercer Island is using. 3, 2, and 1. 3, the student is engaging in both synchronous, the Zoom classes, and asynchronous, the artwork that they're doing at home. They're doing the learning activities, they're turning things in on Schoology, they're participating and collaborating in class, and it will be assumed that everyone starts with a 3, and then they can go down from there, but most people will assume they have a 3 because art's so fun, okay? So basically what it does is it basically teaches or helps the parents and the teacher know how the student could improve. If their engagement is low, that's probably where we need to start to help them get better. Okay, why standards-based grading? I've been doing it for 2 years. This is my 3rd year, because it really takes the mystery out of how the process works. It demystifies grading for students. They get a rubric with clear path to what criteria is needed to meet the standard, and they know, and they get lots of formative practice in order to get there, and to get to standard, which is a 3. And it just puts the trust in there that between student and teacher. It's not whether I like their art or don't like their art, or and it just puts the integrity back into grading and showing students how they can grow and how they can understand that this is why my art is here and this is how I can get it to here. All right, it's a lot of student reflection and awareness, but they'll have fun and while they're doing it. All right, so basically they'll be doing formative work, practicing drawing, painting, clay work, working on things, and then making changes, fixing things, learning a skill, and then when they're all done, they'll hand it to me and say, "Bon appetit, Mrs. Shaner, I'm so proud of this." And I will say, "Yeah, you should be. Look at the process you have gone through." And they'll know how they got from here to here. That didn't just magically appear. So I invite you to be a part of this creative experience with your students. And here's what you can do. Encourage your child to keep trying, to improving and stretching. When they don't want to do something, encourage them. Art skill takes practice. It takes rough drafts. It takes redo. It takes steps. And sometimes they don't want to do steps. They want to just jump here and they don't want to show their work and they don't want to do this, but encourage them to do that. Remember that right now we need the arts more than ever, because during tough times, people use art to express themselves and their feelings. And this could be your child's way of really, coping with things. So my expectation is that students are self-monitored growth facilitated by me. And that was fun. Let's do it again. Thank you for listening.